Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jo Bren. So, welcome back. I know it has been a very busy month for all of us, and I am always praying that you are always okay, you feel so good, and you feel so great. Okay, for today's vlog is I'll be explaining to you our 3.1 discussion in the subject of art appreciation, and we're talking about the elements of performing arts. So last video that I've posted, I've talked about the elements of visual arts. Now we are going to talk about the elements of performing arts. So what is arts? It entails about our execution, our skills, our performance. The discussion of the elements of performing arts is limited to music, dance, and literature. So let's start about music. So what is music? I love music. You also love listening music, right? Okay, music is an auditory art. Why it's auditory? Because we are listening to it, right? So in order for us to better appreciate the beauty or the kind of that music, is we need first to know the elements of music. And what are those? We have 6 elements of music. We have the rhythm, the melody, the harmony, the tempo, the dynamics, and the timbre. So let's talk about first the elements of music. We have the rhythm. It is the arrangement of music. It shows a regular pattern with a uniform number of beats in uniform measures, meaning it is very order, it is very consistent, it is very regular. So that is rhythm. Melody. The second is melody. This is the second important element of music, right? So if it is very important because if rhythm is very focused with physical motion, right? Melody is very focused with your mental motion. So rhythm, they focus on your physical motion. Melody focuses on your mental motion. And melody, this is sometimes called the memory element because it is always remembered by a listener, right? So when we hear music, right, we don't know the lyrics, but the melody is there. But we are very familiar with the melody, and we also remember the kind of song when we hear the melody. So melody is very important element of music, right? So pitch, the third element of music is pitch. Pitch indicates the highness or the lowness of sound. And so if you are a singer, right, you are very concerned about your pitch, right? I am not a good singer, but I am a good listener. No, I am a good listener of music, but I am not a good singer. So you talk about pitch, it refers to the highness or the lowness of sound, right? So the slower the vibration, the lower the pitch, correct? And the faster the vibration, the higher the pitch. So if you're a good singer, you are able to catch up with the different kinds of pitch, right? So if the song is very slow, your pitch should also be slow. If the vibration is very fast, your pitch should also be higher, right? So the fourth elements of music is harmony. Harmony refers to the manner of sound combination in which we add subordinate sounds to enhance the quality of the main sound. So that is harmony. So the main purpose of harmony when it comes to music is more on combining a lot of sounds to enhance the quality of the main sounds, and that is harmony. That's why it is not easy to be a good singer. No, you have to know the elements of music for you to catch up, for you to produce good and quality sounds. Okay? So next is the tempo. The tempo refers to the speed of a certain musical piece. Tempo may be slow, quick, or moderate. Okay? So, dynamic. The last element is, the second to the last element is dynamic. It refers to the amount, the strength, or the volume of the sound. That's why, if you're going to ask me, I love the soft or slow music, no. I am not into the very fast or very loud music. I prefer to listen to a very slow music, a very romantic songs. I love the sound. I love the dynamic. I love the tone quality. It doesn't hurt my ears. That's why I am not fan of rock music. I am very fan of slow music. Okay, so for today's generation, they are very attached to a very fast music, no, with dance beat plus the singer also sang the song. So we have different levels, or we have different appreciation when you talk about music. So so let's talk about dance. So we are done discussing about music. Now let's talk about dance. So what is dance? I know there are people who are good at singing, but they are not good at dancing. There are also people who are good at dancing, but they're not good at singing. So we have different talents, by the way. So dancing is an expression of performing arts, right? So dancing is an art and recreation. Recreation meaning we are doing that to express ourselves, to express what we feel. It gives entertainment, dancing, right? I love to watch teenagers, no, or individuals who are good at dancing. So as an art, dancing, it tells a story, a set of moods, or expresses an emotion. That's why dancing is not just dancing without telling something to the audience, no. Dancing, it tells a story, a set of moods, or express an emotion. Dance is very informed. So some form of dances are religious dance, magical dance, commemorative dance, ceremonial dance, recreative dance, and testimonial dance. So it varies, right? Some forms of dances, it vary in form. So there are types of dances. We have the folk dance, ballroom dances, the theatrical dances. So let's talk about the folk dance. So folk dance is referred to ethnic dances. There are social dances that portray the belief, the interest, the habits, the custom, the traditions, and practices of the native people. So this is considered a folk dance, no? Ethnic dances. I love to watch individuals who are dancing folk dance. Number two, we have the ballroom dances. So ballroom are dances of public entertainment. So usually performed in pairs in ballrooms, nightclubs, or in public places. So I don't know how to dance ethnic dances, but possibly ballroom. Possibly I can also do that. Slight. Okay. So number three types of dances is theatrical dances are performed for the entertainment of the audience in a theater. So if you have been to a theater, so we also have the theatrical dances. So what are the elements of dance? So when you talk about dance, there's always a movement in a dance. Again, but not all movements signify a dance. Right? To be a dance, the movement must contain the following basic elements. So I love dancing, but I don't show it to public. It's confidential for me. Okay, so therefore, if when you dance without telling something to the audience, therefore it is not considered a dance, because a dance should express an emotion, should tell a story. So, okay, the following basic elements of dance is number one is the theme. What is a theme? A theme, it conveys the message of a dance. Therefore, if you are dancing, it should have a message. If you're dancing without a message, therefore it is not a dance. So that is a theme. It should have a theme. Okay? So if you are dancing without sharing a message, it is not considered a dance. Number two, design. Design is the pattern of movement in time and space. So when you talk about, okay, so design, again, design is the pattern of movement in time and space. So we have pattern in time and pattern in space. So what is pattern in time? Meaning, this refers to the beats of movement. So patterns in time, the beats of movement. Pattern in space refers to the path traced by the dancer's feet on the floor and the levels on which they move. Number three element is movement. Movement refers to the bodily actions of the dancer. That includes his steps, gestures of the arms, the hands, and the facial expression. Okay? When you dance, it should have a facial expression. That's why when I see people who are dancing, their faces also shows show something or tell. Also have the facial expression when they dance. They also have the gestures of the arms. So movement is very important. The fourth element of dance is technique. Technique is the skill of movement executed by the dancer. So we are all dancers, no? But there are individuals who are very good in conveying the message when they dance. They also have their own technique and how they will execute the movement, the skill of movement through dancing. So number 5 element is music. Music is also important in dancing. Music is the auditory background to which a dancer moves. That's why it is very important to consider the music when you dance. Because if there is no background music, the audience also cannot relate to why you are dancing something like that. So music is the auditory background to which a dancer moves. That's why we need to choose the right music for our dance. We need to choose the right beat for our performance, right? So music is the auditory background to which a dancer moves. Number 6 is the costume and body paraphernalia. Again, when you talk about costume, this is also very important for dancer. They need to wear something, costume, body paraphernalia to showcase or express their emotion. That is very important. So if you are showcasing the folk dance of an igorot, you have to wear something like an igorot to showcase or to express that you are telling a message to this kind of people. So number 7 is choreography. Choreography refers to the figure and steps in dancing. That's why there are also people who are good at the dance that you are trying to convey to the audience. Number 8 is the scenery, refers to the background or the setting. And this is also very important when you are dancing. Dancing, because if there is a scenery or a background, refers to the background or setting, it is more realistic and enriching. And that is very important. Okay, the next is, let's talk about literature. So what is literature? Literature is one of the arts that expresses human feelings. Yes, this is also very important when you talk about arts. It expresses human feeling. It shows ideas or emotion through symbolic presentation in the form of short story, poetry, drama, or play and essay, among others. That's why I love to watch drama, no, or to hear drama, mga role-playing short story. I love to hear something like that, no. So there are classification of literature. Literature can be categorized into scape literature and interpretative literature. Okay, can be classified into two. We have the escape literature and the interpretative literature. So when you talk about scape literature, this is for entertainment purposes. This is to help us while away. This enables us to temporarily forget our troubles. So this is known to be scape literature. From the word itself, scape, we are trying to get away from our problems. While interpretative literature enables us to understand our troubles, our problems, our difficulties. So while interpretative literature, this enables us to understand our troubles, our problems, our difficulties. So the object of scape literature is pleasure, right? The object for scape literature is pleasure, while the object of interpretative literature is pleasure plus understanding, right? So from the word itself, interpretative, we are trying to interpret our feelings, our troubles, our difficulties. Okay, so what are the uses of literature? Number 1 uses of literature is to impart moral values. So the purpose is to present moral values for the reader to understand and appreciate. That is one of the uses of literature, to impart moral values. The second uses of literature as propaganda. Okay, some books describing one's personal success and achievements in life. So this is also part of literature. The number three uses of literature is to provide therapeutic help. Okay, again, when you're trying to share a story, to write a story, to do spoken poetry is also an example of literature. To provide therapeutic help and emotional relief experience by the reader that helps him recover from a previous pent up emotion. That's why a lot of people who are very good at writing their own story or sharing their own story, they also, when they do that, they also feel some emotional relief, and they also feel good from the pain, from the burdens that they are went through. So this is also one of the uses of literature. So the general elements of literature. So according to Sanchez et al., not all written works can be considered literature. So not all written works can be considered literature. To understand a good literary work, we should know the important elements of literature. Okay, so not all written books are considered literature. So to better understand a good literary work, we should know first the elements of literature. So there are the important elements of literature. So we have the emotional appeal, intellectual appeal, humanistic appeal. These three are the important elements of literature. When you talk about emotional appeal, this is attained when the reader is emotionally moved or touched by any literary works. Emotional. It touches the emotions of the reader. So this is the purpose of literature. Intellectual appeal, it touches your intellectual abilities. Humanistic value, it can be realized when the literary work affirms the dignity and worth of all people. Okay? When it again, the important elements of literature are when it touches your emotion, when it touches your intellectual capability, and when it touches people. And those are the important elements of literature. So there are specific elements of literature. We have the elements of short story, the elements of poetry, and the elements of the essay. Okay, so I will end this topic by discussing the general elements of literature. We will continue discussing this next video. This is a very long discussion, so I prefer to cut it out. Okay, so again, we are done discussing about music, dance, literature, and we will continue discussing the specific elements of literature, the elements of short story, the elements of poetry, the elements of essay, and a lot more. We love to hear music, we love to dance, we love to write stories. This is all part of the elements of performing arts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you get something out of this very quick discussion. We will continue discussing this on my next video blog. Thank you so much and God bless you. Again,